So, you two been chasing murderers in a minivan?
Yeah, he blew up my other car.
Yeah,
That's not what happened.
surprised me at all.
Literally what happened.
No, it's not.
Why does your car go faster?
The first thing that grabbed me wasn't the explosions, the gunfire, or even the massive presence of two of Hollywood's most intimidating stars. It was the feeling that something personal was about to collide with something explosive. That's exactly the tone Prime Video's newly released full trailer for The Wrecking Crew sets right from the opening seconds, and trust me, it doesn't let go. I've watched a lot of action comedy trailers over the years, and most of them follow a familiar rhythm. This one feels different. Not louder, not flashier, just more deliberate. The Wrecking Crew doesn't start by asking for your attention. It assumes it already has it, and then slowly tightens its grip. The film stars Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista as Johnny and James, two estranged half-brothers who reunite under the worst possible circumstances. They travel to Hawaii to investigate their father's death, officially ruled an accident, but quickly discover that nothing about it adds up. What begins as a personal search for answers rapidly spirals into something much bigger, far more dangerous, and unexpectedly hilarious. The trailer opens with chaos. Yakuza operatives, automatic weapons, cars exploding in the middle of city streets, and Momoa and Bautista clearly being hunted. It's loud, fast, and unapologetically cinematic. Then the trailer rewinds, giving us the emotional engine behind all that destruction. Johnny refuses to believe his father died in a simple traffic accident. That single doubt becomes the spark that ignites everything else, and it also paints a target on his back. When Johnny joins forces with his half-brother James, the dynamic becomes the heart of the movie. These two don't naturally get along. There's tension, unresolved history, and clashing personalities, but there's also something more powerful underneath it all. Shared blood, shared loss, shared anger. Watching them navigate that while bullets are flying is where the film's tone really locks in. What stood out to me immediately is how confidently the trailer balances action and comedy. The jokes aren't forced pauses between shootouts. They're baked directly into the chaos. One moment you're watching a brutal highway chase with snipers firing from a helicopter, the next you're laughing at the brothers bickering mid-crisis. That contrast doesn't weaken the tension, it sharpens it. There's a standout sequence involving a highway ambush that feels like a love letter to classic buddy action films, but with modern scale and polish. Cars flipping, gunfire echoing across concrete barriers, and the sense that survival is hanging by a thread. The action feels big, but never empty. Every explosion feels tied to the character's desperation rather than just spectacle for spectacle's sake. Stephen Root also appears in the trailer, and his presence hints at another layer of unpredictability. Whenever he shows up in a project like this, you know you're not just getting a simple villain or side character. You're getting someone who can flip a scene on its head with a single line or expression. His involvement suggests that the conspiracy at the center of the story is more tangled than it initially appears. Jason Momoa's role here feels like a natural evolution of where his career has been heading. Over the past year, he's proven that he's more than just physical presence. His work on Chief of War showed a deeper commitment to storytelling, not just as an actor but as a creative force behind the scenes. That experience clearly feeds into The Wrecking Crew, where his character isn't just swinging fists, but driving the emotional core of the story. On the comedic side, Momoa's recent turn in a Minecraft movie demonstrated that he's increasingly comfortable leaning into humor without undercutting his intensity. That balance is crucial here, and from what the trailer shows, he nails it. Dave Bautista, meanwhile, feels completely at home in this space. Over the past year alone, he's appeared in multiple action-driven projects, including in The Lost Lands, Afterburn, and Trap House. What makes Bautista stand out isn't just his size or physicality, but his timing. His ability to deliver dry humor while standing in the middle of absolute destruction is something he perfected during his time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Drax, and that skill translates beautifully here. Together, Momoa and Bautista have a chemistry that feels earned rather than manufactured. You believe that these two characters have history. You believe that they frustrate each other. And most importantly, you believe that when things get truly dire, they'll have each other's backs whether they like it or not. Behind the camera, the film is directed by Ngel Manuel Soto, whose work on Blue Beetle showed a strong grasp of character-driven spectacle. The script comes from Jonathan Tropper, known for blending emotional stakes with high-concept storytelling. That combination alone raises expectations because it suggests a movie that understands why action matters, not just how to stage it. What excites me most is that The Wrecking Crew doesn't seem interested in reinventing the genre, but it does seem determined to execute it at a very high level. It knows exactly what kind of movie it is. It's loud, fast, funny, and grounded by a surprisingly personal story about family, truth, and unfinished business. If the trailer is any indication, the humor is just getting started. The quick exchanges, the awkward pauses during life or death situations, and the visible irritation between the brothers all hint at a film that understands how comedy works best when characters take their circumstances seriously, even if the situation itself is absurd. And here's the thing worth paying attention to. Films like this live or die by chemistry. You can have the biggest explosions in the world, but if the central relationship doesn't click, the whole thing collapses. From what we've seen so far, that's not a concern here. The Wrecking Crew looks like a movie that knows how to entertain without talking down to its audience. It trusts you to keep up, it trusts you to care, and it rewards that trust with momentum that never really lets off the gas. Prime Video is clearly positioning this as one of its major original releases, and the January 28th premiere date puts it right in the perfect window for a high-energy start to the year. If you're in the mood for something that blends explosive action with sharp banter and a surprisingly emotional backbone, this one should be firmly on your radar. I'll be watching closely when it drops, because if the final film delivers on even half of what this trailer promises, we're looking at one of the most entertaining action comedies Prime Video has released in a long time. And as always, I'll be here breaking it all down with you. Until next time, stay curious, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.